Hello YouTube, how you doing? You alright? I hope everybody's well. I haven't made a video for a long time, but I had a few strange dreams last night, so I've been meaning to do a video for a long time and been struggling to think of an idea. But after having these dreams last night, I thought this is the perfect thing to talk about. Um, stay with me. I will get to that, but I just want to explain something, bit of a prerequisite. If you're coming across my video, you might be subscribed, because I do a lot of Christian short videos, so that's my main thing on YouTube. But I am trying to do more videos like this, but I struggle with ideas, and I struggle with the camera a little bit, get a little bit anxious and stuff about doing it. But I've been meaning to do one, so I'm going to do one. I've had a couple of dreams, so I'm going to talk about my dreams. So I'll get straight into it. So the first dream I had was like I was having a dream where I felt like I was being attacked by something, and I said Jesus 3 times in the dream. And it's weird because my dreams were often quite like this. It's like I don't really remember too many like visual details about it, but I just know that I had that dream, and I think I almost woke up afterwards, and then went back to sleep. And I normally remember dreams if I've woken up. So if I wake up, I remember a dream, and then if like last night, I said I had 4 dreams, and I must have woke up after each one and gone back to sleep. It was a very, I'm in the UK, and it's a very cold night last night, but I did have my heating on, so it wasn't that cold in my house. So, but I think maybe that had something to do with it. I was watching some weird stuff before I went to sleep. Maybe that had something to do with it, but I quite often watch stuff like that, so it doesn't really fully explain it. And the second dream was pretty much the same as the first dream, apart from I remember there being a dog in it, and I want to say demon, because it was something what made me want to say Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I think I might even say Jesus help me. And I remember that with it, the feeling of that this dog, I think maybe the dog had come to protect me or something, and that the demon, and I want to say stabs, but I feel like it was more like it attacked the dog. Maybe it hit it, and then I was concerned about the dog then, and then that was it. I must have woke up again, and I was like, crikey, I've had 2 dreams. Like, I wonder what's going on there. I wonder if it's some sort of spiritual warfare, and maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, maybe it's a good thing that I've defeated a demon, and I've said Jesus, I've called Jesus out in my dream. So that's quite powerful for me. I'm a relatively new believer, about 5 years. So being able to have the power to say Jesus within my dream is probably quite a good thing. And then the third dream was like, I want to call it a BMX dream. Again, it's weird. I haven't got too many huge visuals about it, but I kind of remember there being a BMX in it, and it's almost like there was a BMX jump, but it was just a really thin strip, and it was almost like I knew like somebody was about to ride on this strip on a BMX, and I put the strip in plate in the middle of the road to help them. And I think I even dusted it off, made sure it was, because I knew somebody on a BMX was about to go over it. And then this was another weird thing about that same dream, is then after that I kind of like went off, and I was like out the front of this house. No, I don't recognise this house. It's not near me. It's not like an old home, but it was like a bin liner, and the bin liner, big bin liner, big bin bag, and it was full of like dust, and I was like vacuuming the dust out of this bag, and I remember the vat got clogged as well. The vat hose got clogged with something like big that had gone into the hose, and then I shook the hose to try and get what, and it unblocked, and then I'm vacuuming the rest of this dust out of this bag to reveal like a like clothes at the bottom of the bag, and I'm like, that's weird. And then it's almost like once I realised that there was clothes in the bottom of this bag, it's like I put it back where I found it. It's like, oh, I've cleaned that, got the dust out of that. Oh, there's clothes in it. It might become useful for somebody else. Leave that there. So that's weird, especially after having those 2 dreams before it. And then after that, what was my last dream? Again, it was quite a vague dream, but I was like, I want to say a swamp, but it wasn't really a swamp. It was more like a river or a flooded area. And I was with a group of people and we're walking through this flooded area. And I just remember that's basically it, really. I remember there being a flooded area, and I remember me being sort of like, oh, we should go that way's clearer, or something like that. And so, yeah, quite strange, but so I wanted to do that video. Maybe somebody's got some explanation behind any of those dreams, and I'd be grateful to hear anything. But I want to kind of somewhat talk about some stuff prior to that. It might make a bit more sense. So I'm in a place at the moment where I'm waiting to start a job. I've been waiting for a couple of 3 weeks now, and it's been quite a frustrating time because it was a job that I applied for a long time ago, and then I signed a contract with them and everything, and they were doing a DBS check, and the DBS check took months. It took months and months, to the point where I went, I'm going to have to get a different job here. And I did get a different job, went and worked at another job, and then they got back to me and they were like, oh, your DBS check has come through, but we need, when your references didn't come through, can you give us another second reference? And I'm a bit like, you're kidding me, it's been 3 months, like. But then I kind of wanted that job, so I sort of said to him, look, is there any way I can come in and have a chat with somebody? I kind of want to come and work for you guys, but I don't want to end up without a job. It's self-fulfilled prophecy. So I went in there, had a chat with somebody, and then they were like, oh yeah, it's just before Christmas. Yeah, look, let your boss know and give me a ring Monday and we'll move forward. And I did exactly that. And then I phoned up on the Monday, couldn't get hold of her on the Monday. Phoned up the next day, couldn't get hold of her. Phoned up on the Wednesday, couldn't get hold of her. I think I phoned up on the Thursday, oh, she's off sick. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? I was hoping to start work like 2 days ago. Call back Monday, call back the next Monday. I think I finally got hold of her, maybe that day or the day after. And they went, oh, we're not going to hire until after New Year now. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So I've been sat at home for a good couple of 3 weeks now, quite poor, because I've got no money coming in. And I kind of went to started feeling like I was getting fobbed up, so I applied for a load more jobs. And I've kind of been getting a bit sort of down with them. Christmas is never a really good time for me anyway. I lost my mum a long time ago, and Christmas changed dramatically after I lost my mum. I lost her when I was about 28, and it's quite a lonely time for me now. And yeah, that being said, I'll move on. But so I had a bit of good news yesterday. They got back to me and said, oh, look, just your second reference still didn't come through, mate. And I got the email address wrong, so I sent them the email, and they said, we'll get you started as soon as possible. So I was optimistic yesterday after getting that, because I'm thinking, well, look, they're not just fobbing me off. It's just obviously stuff happening, and they're not very good at sorting things out quickly, getting back to you as quickly as you want. But yeah, that was a weird couple of dreams. My faith's been dipping and in and out, because I felt like I was being led to go there, and then when it didn't happen, I got a bit annoyed. I'm like, what? And I always find myself in this process of especially with work, where I don't want to say the word gang stalking, because I don't really get gang stalked or anything like that, but it's kind of somewhat like workplace bullying by narcissistic, psychopathic, sociopathic people. And I think a lot of people can relate to this when you're a Christian, is these people just seem to come after you. It doesn't matter how nice you are, how not nice you are, no matter what you do, it's like the spirit in them is just, and they play all these funny games, they'll be your mate 1 minute and not the next, and it's hard work. So I've been in a bit of a massive isolation period at a time of the year when I really don't want to be isolated. So yeah, those dreams were definitely very profound, and I don't know. I think there's another thing. What I've been thinking is a lot of the time is I had this analogy earlier from somebody. I think it might have been Dry Creek Wrangling guy, the Bible Tap Room Talk guy. the American guy, was talking about how a load of people swimming in a lake. There's a strong swimmer, weak swimmer. The weak swimmer starts drowning and whatnot, and he starts sort of kicking and spluttering, and the strong swimmer over the way sees him struggling, and so he swims over to sort of help him. But what he does, I'm paraphrasing this, I'm not the best storyteller, but the, the the guy who's a strong swimmer lets the guy who's kicking and spluttering like get to the point where he's almost like drowning before he pulls him out, goes and helps him and pulls him ashore and saves him, gets him out of the water, as it were. And then one of the other guys just like, oh, why didn't you just help him straight away? Why did you let him nearly drown? And he's, well, like, if I'd have gone in straight away when he was kicking and spluttering and screaming, he would have pulled me under and I would have drowned. We would have both been drowned, and there's no good in that. So what I've done is I've let him wear himself out to the point where he isn't kicking and spluttering, and then I can just grab hold of him and swim him out, and then I can control him better. And he was using that analogy to describe how God works. Sometimes God will literally make you get to the point where you're desperate to come back to him, and it's almost like I always find myself in that place, which I find quite frustrating. And sometimes it steers me off God for a period, and I'm like, oh my God, well, how can God be real? And, if you live in the UK, you get where I'm coming from here a little bit. How our country at the moment just seems to be complete mess, and how the people who are doing loads of wrong things are the ones who are given things, going, oh, pat on the back, nice one for literally breaking the law, and there's a free auto, and we're all going, what? We've been paying our dues for all our lives, and we're law-abiding citizens. We try our best, and we're not getting any good stuff. And as soon as we put our foot out of place, if we did like 1% of what they did, we'd be locked up for freaking life. Whereas they're getting, you got Keir Starmer just doing all sorts of nonsense, where he's letting people who literally say that they hate white people, saying they want to bring terror to countries. Keir Starmer's like, come on over, mate. Come on, we want you over here, mate. And you're like, what? How is this our Prime Minister? Like, how is this person in charge of our country when he's doing stuff like that? You've got blinking Angela Rayner, who dodged a load of tax. If it was any one of us, we'd be in prison. She's just like, no, I'll tell you what, we'll find you another job somewhere where you're in away for a little bit, and then we get you. There's even talks that she might be the next Prime Minister, and you're like, what is our country come to? And I could talk about that in length of how just the stuff that's happened in our country, where things have been switched around, where the good are treated like evil and the evil's treated like good. It's definitely a sign of the times, which is making me somewhat think that maybe I'm being pushed to just get out of this country, mate, get out of this country. So I am kind of thinking along those lines of, look, get back into work, get some money, maybe start selling some of your stuff so you're more better prepared to just go when you need to go. I will actually talk on this, actually, because this is a good little topic. I've heard a couple of things on YouTube and stuff about 2017. There's two things. One of them is that I think this is more America, but it, in a grand scheme, it affects everybody. They're planning by about 2017. There's like a big. I don't know if you've seen the film Age of Disclosure. It's definitely worth a watch. It's about aliens and disclosing the aliens and all that stuff. But there's a bit of a talk about how by 2017 that they're going to do a fake alien invasion. So these things, sometimes when I watch when I watch that documentary, it starts making you somewhat question God a little bit, because you're going, well, if these aliens and all this has been going on, what they're talking about, it doesn't really give the Bible too much credit. But then you start thinking, well, maybe this is just a psyop that they want you to think, because they've got something coming in later, and we know that's their agenda. They do stuff like that. So yeah, 2017, there's talk of them doing a fake alien invasion with Project Bluebeam. Oh, probably shouldn't have said that word. Hopefully YouTube won't cancel me for that one. I won't say it again. But yeah, so yeah, maybe there's a fake alien invasion coming, 2017. But then there's another one what I've heard, which they're kind of doing in Europe more so, is that there's talk that they're gonna try and make it a one world religion by 2017. They're gonna try and create a unified religion, little pieces of all of them, and probably choose one. And we'll probably all know the word that they're probably going to try and do, and it's probably the Islam word. So that's also worrying. And I take a look, these prophecies a little bit with a pinch of salt, but there's definitely evidence to support certain things like that going on. So I've been thinking it for a year, 2 years now, maybe, that I've got to get out of this country before it's too late. We're on the brink of civil war. It's, little thing here could happen. Tinder and the old place will just go up. Like they're up in one of the cities. We're very, very close. The politics is a complete mess. I don't want to drivel on too much. So I'll probably kind of call that a close to the video with a little bit of a ending statement of, if you have come across this video, like I say, I've got I do shorts normally, Christian shorts video. They're kind of like AI generated with a little bit of music, a little bit of motivation. I quite enjoy doing them, and I tend to. They seem to have been doing quite well. I've got a fair few subscribers now, but I do kind of want to go down this road, but I'm just not that very good at it yet. Starting to learn better ways of doing it. I'm sure with a bit of practice I'll get better. I've only got a crappy little phone, but I do believe, like, I'm not into me AI stuff, believe me, but I'm doing those things with good faith to try and spread the gospel. And I know a lot of youngsters watch the short stuff, so hopefully it's getting out to those sort of people. And I do plan on doing a little bit more like this. And I think people are fed up with, like, YouTube, with all these AI, long form AI videos where it's just some monotone voice. And I think people are going to start more liking something that's a bit more real like this. You can see I'm not fake. I've got a crappy camera. The quality's naff, so it's not sort of mass produced. Is that the right word? No. The production's not that good. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So I do want to start doing this. Guys, if you have stuck around to the end of this video, please do give me a like, comment. It really does help the algorithm and it help my channel grow. God bless you. God willing, we have a good 2026. Thanks for listening. Cheers. Bye-bye.